Hello everyone, this is Agent Ross and welcome back to the channel. In the last episode, we added damage numbers and hit flash, which made combat feel much more responsive. But right now our enemies are still basically just target dummies. In this episode, we are going to turn one of those dummies into a basic enemy. The behavior will stay intentionally simple. Idle at its spawn point, detect the player inside an aggro range, chase the player, stop in attack range, attack on cooldown using the same damage pipeline we already built. That gives us the first real enemy combat loop while still keeping the architecture ECS friendly and easy to extend later. First, we are going to create a new component and we are going to call this file EnemyAI.js. Then we are going to type export class EnemyAI extends component constructor, and inside the constructor we're going to say aggro range. And let's set this one to 8, leash range 14, move speed 2.1, attack range 1.75, attack cooldown 1.0, and damage 4. After that, we are going to call the super. Then we are going to say this.aggro range equals aggro range, this.leash range equals leash range, this.move speed equals move speed, this.attack range equals attack range, this.attack cooldown equals attack cooldown, and finally this.damage equals damage. And after this, we're going to have 3 more saying this.attack timer equals 0, this.has aggro equals false, this.state equals, we're going to set this one to first idle, let's say idle, and let's make a comment here. So we're going to have idle, return, chase, attack, and dead. This component stores all behavior tuning for a simple melee enemy. It includes how far the enemy can detect the player, how far it can chase before giving up, how fast it moves, how close it needs to be before attacking, how much damage it deals, and a small attack cooldown timer. It also stores a simple state string, so the behavior is easy to reason about while debugging. Now let's go to our dummy file. Inside here, we're going to import EnemyAI, and right inside this function, we're going to make some changes. In here, we're going to say hostile equals false, name equals hostile question mark, hostile dummy, otherwise training dummy, color equals hostile question mark, 0x, 8a, 4a, 3a, otherwise 0x, b6, 8c, 64. And right where we set the material, inside here, we're going to set the color. And then we're going to scroll down. Right in here where we set the name, instead of saying training dummy, we're going to get rid of that and just say name. And right at the end, we're going to add if hostile world.add component, new EnemyAI, we will say aggro range 8.5, leash range 14, move speed 2.2, attack range 1.75, attack cooldown 1.0, damage is 4. This keeps the factory flexible. A passive training dummy is still useful for testing targeting or UI in isolation. But now with one flag, we can also spawn a hostile version that uses the same visuals, the same health system, and the same combat pipeline. That's a nice example of reusing the same ECS building blocks for different gameplay roles. Now let's go ahead and save this file. Next, we are going to create the EnemyAISystem. So under the system folder, we are going to create a new file, and we are going to call this file EnemyAISystem.js. This file will import system, query, EnemyAI, transform, health, death, player control, and event damage. After that, we are going to type export class EnemyAISystem extends system constructor super this._homes equals new map, and that's going to be entity x, y, and z. Then we are going to create the update function, and inside the update function we're going to say constant players equals query.entities with world player control transform and health. If players.length is 0, return constant player equals player 0, constant player transform equals world.get component with player and transform, constant player health equals world.getComponent player health. Constant player dead equals world.hasComponent player dead, or it's not player's health, or player health.current less than or equals to 0. Then we're gonna say constant enemies equals query.entitiesWidth world EnemyAI transform and health. For constant E of enemies, constant AI equals world.getComponent EnemyAI. Constant transform equals world.getComponent transform. Constant health equals world.getComponent health. If it's not AI, or it's not transform, or it's not health, continue. If it's not this dot underscore homes dot has e, this dot underscore homes dot set, x is transform dot x, y is transform dot y, z is transform dot z. After this if statement, we're gonna say AI dot attack timer equals math dot max 0, AI dot attack timer minus delta time. If world dot has component dead, or health dot current less than or equals to 0, AI dot state equals dead, AI dot has aggro equals false, continue. And after this if statement, we're gonna say constant home equals this dot underscore homes dot get e. If player dead, AI dot has aggro equals false, this dot underscore return home AI transform home delta time, then continue. Constant distance to player equals this dot underscore distance xz transform dot x transform dot z player transform dot x player transform dot z. Constant distance home to player equals this dot underscore distance xz home dot x home dot z player transform dot x player transform dot z. If it's not AI dot has aggro and distance to player less than or equals to AI dot aggro range, AI dot has aggro equals true. If AI dot has aggro and distance home to player greater than AI dot leash range, AI dot has aggro equals false. If it's not AI dot has aggro, this dot underscore return home AI transform home delta time, then continue. If distance to player greater than AI dot attack range, AI dot state equals chase, this dot underscore move towards xz transform player transform dot x player transform dot z AI dot move speed delta time AI dot attack range times 0.85, and then continue. And right under here we're gonna say AI dot state equals attack if AI dot attack timer less than or equals to 0, world dot events dot emit event damage source e target player amount is AI dot damage kind enemy melee. And then under here we're gonna say AI dot attack timer equals AI dot attack cooldown. After the update function, we're gonna create the return home function. So for that, we're gonna say underscore return home. It will have AI transform home and delta time. Inside this function, we're gonna say constant distance to home equals this dot underscore distance xz transform dot x transform dot z home dot x home dot z. If distance to home greater than 0.05, AI.state equals return this dot underscore move towards transform home.x home.z AI dot move speed delta time and 0, else AI.state equals idle transform.x equals home.x transform.z equals home.z. Then we are going to create the move towards function. So we're going to say underscore move towards xz. It will have transform target x, target z, move speed, delta time, stop distance, and we're going to set this one to 0. Then we're going to say constant dx equals target x minus transform.x constant dz equals target z minus transform.z constant distance equals math.square root dx times dx plus dz times dz. After that, we're going to say if distance is less than or equals to 0.0001 or distance less than or equals to stop distance, return constant nx equals dx divided by distance, constant nz equals dz divided by distance, constant move amount equals math.min move speed times delta time, distance minus stop distance, transform.x plus equals nx times move amount, transform.z plus equals nz times move amount. And finally, we need the distance xz function. So for that, we're going to say underscore distance xz. It will have ax, az, bx, bz, constant dx equals bx minus ax, constant dz equals bz minus az, return math.square root dx times dx plus dz times dz. And let's go ahead and save it. This is our first proper enemy behavior system. The enemy starts idle at its home position. If the player comes close enough, it gains aggro and starts chasing. Once it gets close enough, it stops moving and attacks on a cooldown by emitting the same damage event we already use everywhere else. And if the player gets too far away, the enemy drops aggro and walks back home. So even though the behavior is still simple, it already gives us a complete idle chase attack loop. Next, we are going to go to main.js. Inside here, we're going to import EnemyAISystem. Then we're going to scroll down. Right, we have the collision number 6. Right under here, we're going to say world.addSystem new EnemyAISystem. This order matters. We want the player's movement and collision to finish first, so the enemy AI reacts to player's real final position for the frame. Then the enemy can move and decide whether to attack. And after that, the rest of the combat and UI system can read the updated state. Let's go ahead and save this. And then we are going to go to test level. Inside here where we create the dummies, I'm going to make some changes. So for this second dummy, let's make it hostile. So right inside here, we're going to say hostile equals true. And the name is hostile dummy. For now, we only need one hostile enemy to test the first version of the AI. That keeps the behavior easy to read while we validate the full combat loop. The side dummies are still useful as passive targets, but the middle one is now our first actual enemy. This episode does not need any CSS changes. The enemy uses the existing world mesh visuals, existing health system, existing damage pipeline, and existing hit flash and damage numbers. That's one of the nice things about the architecture we've been building. Because of the combat pipeline is already in place, EnemyAI does not need a special damage system or a special UI system. It just emits the same events and reuses the same ECS data. Now let's go ahead and test it. I'm going to make the game screen bigger. I'm going to walk towards the middle dummy and see if it's going to chase. And we can see it's chasing. And when we move far away, we can see it returns to its spawn point. Now let's go ahead and let it reach the attack. And we can see it's doing 2 damage. And our health is dropping. We can use a health potion. We can also attack back. We can confirm our existing combat feedback is still working. And we can move around and we can see it's chasing. I can speed up. And if you move out of the range, it goes back. And normal dummies still work. And we can pick up our sword and the armor. I'm going to equip the leather armor, which is going to give us +3 defense. So our defense is 5 now. We always want to get damage when the enemy attacks. So the minimum damage we can get is 1. Now I want to test the death and respawn. Once we die, the hostile dummy should return back to home. Our health is 0 and the enemy went back home. I can register myself to this checkpoint. I'm also going to do some environmental damage to reduce my health. So a player died and we respawn, and because we are in the aggro range, the hostile dummy chases us again. And that's episode 36. We turn a static dummy into a basic enemy with an idle, chase, and attack loop. It detects the player, moves into range, attacks using the same combat pipeline as the rest of the game, and returns home if the player gets too far away. That gives us the first real enemy behavior in the project, and it sets us up nicely for the next step: enemy death flow, cleanup, and eventually loot drops. If this was helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm Agent Russ. See you next time.